know why every artist in this entire community has had a bad art teacher? Maybe America is just short on actually good art teachers. Art teachers should inspire you to expand your creative side and expand your creative horizon. Unfortunately, they rarely do. There are a few good eggs out there, I'm sure, but every story I've heard has been pretty bad. I had 2 art teachers actually, and art is a bit of a stretch. My first teacher was my digital arts teacher in 9th grade. Complete whack job. He left clothes in his classroom literally everywhere, and they weren't costumes. I'm pretty sure he had no idea what he was doing 99% of the time. He was qualified as a history teacher, but my wonderful, amazing school made him work as a digital art teacher, so I can't really blame him for having zero idea of what was going on all the time. He just wanted to talk about fishing. He was a really strange guy and obviously was not enjoying his job as a digital art teacher. You'd think digital art would be fun, seeing as well digital art is literally what I do in my free time. But my school's definition of digital art was far from what digital art actually was. When they say digital art, they meant a watered down graphic design class they marketed as an art class. You're probably saying, but graphic design sounds cool. Sure, if you have the right tools to do it and you're taught how to do it. Literally, they shoved us into a room and were like, make magazine covers about yourself. Keep in mind, our school's 2011 Dell laptops had 0 of the fresh new tech on it. We literally had to use GIMP, not that type of GIMP, stop that, which was a watered down Photoshop in the same league as MS Paint. Keep in mind, my school loved to brand itself as a tech access school, and yet they had 0 of the tech that would actually help us with these digital art projects. Alright, so in 9th grade, my school did this really weird thing called Experience Week, where they basically gave us the week off school so we could get real world experience, and none of us had any idea of what we were supposed to do. They kind of just said, go outside and send us pictures of where you go. I ended up photoshopping quite a few of my pictures because did they actually expect us, a group of 14-year-olds, to go places while our parents were at work and we were too young to drive? But during this time, I had digital art deliverables, aka projects, of course. The way our teacher got his message to us was through Go Animate. In these really strange, weird Go Animate videos, he would explain what we were supposed to be doing. Of course, no one actually did it or even understood what he wanted. He'd also do another thing where when you'd complete a project and bring it to him, he'd tell you to fix one thing wrong with it, and you'd go and fix it thinking, oh, okay, it's just one thing. But no, you'd return, he'd give you one more thing, you'd fix it, you'd go back, he'd give you one more thing, and so on and so forth. He didn't seem to know how to give you a complete list of what you need to fix so you wouldn't have to keep coming back. He also graded way too hard. For the work we were supposed to do, we would get a syllabus with a list of things we needed to do, and we would do them. But then all of a sudden, when it was grading time, he'd pull out 9 more things that weren't on the list we needed to do. I guess that's not really his fault because he had no idea what the hell he was supposed to be teaching. Since number 1, it wasn't a conventional art class, number 2, he was a certified history teacher. My second art teacher from 11th to 12th grade was somehow worse. She was a female, and honestly, I was excited to be in her art class at first. She was a graduate of art college, so I figured, how could this be bad? Well, on day 1 of her class, I came in, sat down, got my sketchbook out, ready and eager to get some art tips or have a chance to draw for an hour and a half in the class. It was the first day of class, and I really had hope that I'd enjoy it. Oh, also, side note, in my high school, you did not get to choose your elective classes because there were like 3. You had a language class, which was either Chinese or Japanese. My mother picked Chinese for me in 9th grade because I was out of town. Honestly, it was an easy class, but I don't remember anything from it. And then they had digital art. So in the first semester, you had either digital art or a language class. Then in the second semester, you had whichever one you didn't have in the first semester, so there was no choice. Anyway, back to my digital art class. As I was sitting there, waiting for the lessons to start, my teacher stood up. She was a small female, probably about 5'4", pretty too. But what she said next shattered whatever hope I had for the class. She basically said, welcome to my digital art class. I'd like to inform all of you that drawing isn't real art. And pretty much, if you draw, you're talentless. She didn't say that exactly, but close enough. And I sat there, mouth open, staring at this 23-year-old woman who was supposed to be an art teacher, who was supposed to inspire students to be creative and to follow different paths in the creative world, and not tell them what they love isn't real art or isn't worthy of their time. That was when I decided to hate her. How dare this woman tell me what I did wasn't real art and wasn't worthy of my time? Who did she think she was? She had a piece of paper as her degree that said, wow, you can do art, you did it. And she thought she could tell me what I could and couldn't do? So me and her ended up having a unspoken rivalry because I, of course, ignored her wishes. It was an art class. I wasn't going to not draw. It was clear to me as soon as she found out I wouldn't do what she wanted. She disliked me. I frankly couldn't have been less bothered by it. For some reason, her wanting me to fail a drawing actually inspired me to do better. We were tasked with making portfolios to show off what we spent the year doing. I chose to showcase my art journey. As you'd imagine, she didn't like this. Honestly, I don't know why she hated drawing so much. Probably because she couldn't do it. Her talent was cutting shapes out of paper. Cool stuff, but that's arts and crafts, sweetie. It doesn't take much skill. Drawing is where real passion and effort goes. You have to spend years training your hands to do what your brain envisions. You have to spend years figuring out what goes where and how proportions work. And you have to spend years understanding light and shadow and how to make them look amazing. You use a ruler and scissors to cut paper and call it effort. PSA, I'm not trying to say any form of art is lesser than drawing. I'm just saying it takes a lot more effort to get good at and should be respected as such. Especially by someone who claims to be an art teacher. You're supposed to inspire people, honey, not uninspire them. Actually, in the first year in her class, she told us to make a project and it could be whatever we wanted. So I made a speed paint. At the time, early 2017, I had yet to start trying to paint. My spite for her actually pushed me to start painting for the first time. I think I actually have the speed paint on my channel somewhere. I'll show a clip of it now if I can find it. Anyway, at the end of the year, we showed our portfolios. Literal year of me battling my own art teacher to show her and the students that what I did was real art and required effort. I showed off my growth from 2016 to 2017. Not very impressive now, but at the time, I was proud I'd come so far. She ended up failing me, claiming my portfolio didn't fit the guidelines or whatever. I always knew that low-key it wasn't about that, and she was mad a 17-year-old girl had gotten farther with art than she ever would. Let me sprinkle some wisdom upon those who are watching this video. If your art teacher tells you to not do something, or anyone for that matter tells you to not do something, don't let it stop you. Don't let it make you doubt yourself. You know what you do? You stand up and say, you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you that what I do is important and I can be good at it no matter what you tell me. And that's what I did. And look where I am now. I hit 200K! What the heck, guys? Thank you so much. Honestly, 2017 has sucked major ass. That's why I made 3 breakup videos. As I was editing this video, I realized I had left out a very big part of the story as to why I disliked this woman so much. As you guys know, I made a pretty mean video a year ago, which got popular and started getting pushed around my school. I made an entire video about it. The reason that video was actually brought to the principal was not because of the students, it was because of this art teacher. She took it upon herself to bring this video to the principal. You might be saying to yourself,
but Spechiee, isn't it a teacher's job to prevent bullying?
Well, yes, if there's concrete evidence that the video was in fact about these 2 individuals, because teachers rarely notice what goes on with students. At least in my experience, they have no idea what's going on 99% of the time, especially one who's busy painting her nails and being on Facebook. So the fact that she decided it was me who made the video and decided this video was about these 2 students without really knowing for sure was pretty irritating and a red flag to me. I was like, well, okay then. And I have a younger sister who has literally an identical voice to mine. So she could have taken this video to the principal and be like, this girl is saying these things about these students, and it turned out it wasn't even me. There was lots of loopholes that she didn't think about. She just decided, like, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna go ahead and start a lot of unnecessary drama. And I'm not defending that video before anyone gets fucking mad at me, because I know there's like 8 billion people who are like, Speech, you're a fucking bitch! You know what? You're entitled to your opinions. That's fine. Just don't watch my videos. Not even really having solid evidence that it was in fact me, because this was before my face reveal. So she decided to take the video and be like, this is this girl and she's saying all this shit, like, you need to do something about it. Now, had I face revealed, had she had solid evidence that it was in fact me, I wouldn't have felt like it was a personal attack on me, but it was. And like, I get it, no bullying, but it felt like she had an ulterior motive. Like, there were other teachers who'd found my YouTube channel and they hadn't done anything about it, so why her? But I just really didn't like her. Like, ugh. That just felt like such a thought move, you know? Thanks guys for watching. I know this was a long video, I apologize. I will be going live on YouNow this Friday, the 5th of January at 1 p.m. Pacific, if you want to come by and hang out. And I'm also producing a special project I hope you will all enjoy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna glue things to my face again. But I really hope you guys enjoy that because it's taken a lot of strength to post something like it. So I hope you guys really do enjoy it, and that will be probably my next or second to next video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.